Is it in some ways a positive thing? Because sometimes when you make your debut anywhere, even as experienced as you are, there's an element of not nerves, but you're not comfortable because you've never fought there before. But for you, you've been around one for a while now. I saw you out in Japan for that first show. You know some of the staff, you will know some of the fighters. Do you feel already settled, even though you've never had your debut yet for one?
I think everything is your first. Every fight is your first fight. So if you don't feel the nervous, that means you're not alive. You got to be excited, and that nervous you mean like you're excited. You're like, oh my god, adrenaline. That's about it. That's adrenaline. You got to feel the adrenaline, and that's what makes you win.
With everything that's happening, is there a tentative date for your Nglalani fight,
No,
or just
I
loose?
I don't have an idea right now.
Do you have a country?
Really, what?
Do you have a country? Do you know what country it's going to be in?
Oh man, if I can choose a country, that would be nice. But you know what? That's not my job. My job is to go there and fight. So my job is to. I'm looking for. I love the Asians, man. I've not been fighting in Asia for so long, and I think the market is not just the future, but is the present. They deserve, icons in their country. It's like I'm very thankful for, what these people are bringing the history for martial arts for so many years, and that's why we are here. Thinking about, we have a problem today that people don't admire the people that paved the way. Everything's very like self-centered and selfish. So I love history. So I love the history of martial arts, and they all migrate from Asia, and I'm excited, man, to be part of one organization that it's coming from Asia, but is being to Brazil, Americas, the Europe. So I'm excited.
There was supposed to be a show towards the end of 2020 in Japan. If it were me, I'd probably go Japan. Do you have a feeling that that's what could happen?
That would be a cool one. Fighting Japan, that would be nice. I love Japan and the Japanese people.
There's a long-standing rumor that one are going to go to Brazil eventually, and maybe you'll lead the charge. Have you spoke to anybody about that recently? Of course, everything's kind of paused right now with everything that's happening, but eventually Brazil is on the cards, right?
Brazil's all set, man. Brazil, it's a country that it's where the sport, MMA, everything start there. Brazil it's a place, man. It's 170 million fans. And I think one is really gonna bring the new era of martial arts, and the people are gonna love it, man. They're just gonna love it.
Off the top of your head, when one does finally go to Brazil, is there a dream card in your mind? I imagine we're gonna have yourself, maybe Bibiano. Is there any other names that you would like to see in Brazil fighting for one?
Man, it's hard to pick. One championship has so many great fighters. And people are going to be on board. Man, how about that? And how about cross promotion? I think Chatra it's a guy is the guy to do that. It's all about cross promotion. That's bringing the fighters, the fans, the fights that the fans want to see it. And I think that's the future, man. I think we need new rules. We need new fighters, new vision. Sets of entertaining fights, but done in the proper way, in a way that is really something that never done before. What a better way to do in a platform like one? It's the largest platform, an OTT in the planet, and people watch from their phones, from India, Japan, China. So they deserve to watch the best of combat sport, and I can see one doing so many great things, man. They got the vision. They're very innovator. The team. You go there and the office. It's contagion, man. You're talking to the social media, and then you have the gaming. The game area, and then it's all visionaries. Like the vision of this, like it's like you in the future of the sport of in the future of the sports. And it's almost like everyone in that pace of, okay, what's next? You know, how can we tweak? How can we present? How can we bring values to the sponsors? How can we create in a way that is not just, oh, this is selling your product? And how can you create engagement with the product, the fans and the fighters, and how you bring the stories of the fighters, you know, the values of the fighters, and how you give back. Because remember, if you don't have, in today's world, it's all about, it's not what you sell and not how much value you have. This is not a stock market business. This is a business of content, and the content is for you guys. And like this interview is not for me, it's for you. So if I'm not honest, and if I'm not sincere, if I'm not speaking from my heart and telling the truth, what I'm here, you know, why I'm here. So I really think it's we are really living in a moment that where things get mixed up a little bit, you know. So, and I think, you know, people are very, very selfish. In the business, they're not selfish. They're giving. They always have success. It's like they never lack resource. It's always coming.
One of the cool things that Juan have done to kind of innovate is they opened up to all martial arts disciplines. I've heard a lot about interest in boxing with you and Roy Jones Jr. Is that something that could happen?
So this is something that's I have, and that's the vision. You know, I have called the boxing martial arts. What is boxing martial arts? Is where I and a boxer or a striker, we can fight in a very action pace, but with a different set of rules. So now if a boxer wants to box an MMA fighter, in this set of rules that I have in mind, is like, that's what the fans want to see. They don't want to see a freaking show. You know, I'm not a boxer. I didn't, but I'm a martial art boxer. So the boxer that don't know how to box in my world, if I grab your neck, you know, things like that, you know, it's pretty interesting. I think that's something that one is the platform that you pull that off, and that's what the fans want to see. They want to see something. They like actions, and they like honesty fighters that they're really there to fight to win, not to score and to, hey, I won. No, they're there to present. You know, if I ask you, what's the most exciting thing about American football, and when you go to a game?
Me? Oh, I guess the touchdowns, right?
Okay. What's the most exciting thing about soccer?
Yeah, well, you could say the goals, but, you know, also the passing, the skills, step overs, you know.
Where are you going to lose your voice?
The goal, right? The goals.
So I want you to understand, in every sport, they have the most, it's like the best moment for the fans. I'm just talking about now as an entrepreneur, that I'm just trying to, okay, if you're a swimmer, what's the most exciting moment for the swimmer?
Yeah, when you touch the wall.
When you touch the wall. What's the most exciting thing about a boxer?
When you got the finish. You got the knockout.
When you get the knockout. What's the most exciting thing about martial arts?
The finish, the submission, the knockout.
So the knockout. So that being said, people love the knockouts. And submissions, not that much. They like it, but not that much. To tell you the truth, you know the ratings from a knockout, from a submission. You know, the submission guys, they don't have the same excitement that the artists of the knockouts they have. So, example, in UFC since 1996, no one broke my record. No one broke my record. Still today, I hold the most of the record in knockout. So the value of that, the stake value on this is high. So I think, that being said, bringing back to that combination of, okay, let's go and let's go for a combat. You know, that's why the fans want to see it. That's why the One Championship has so many great strikers and so many knockout artists there. and that's what that I think this is bringing these two sports together, merging one, boxing and martial arts together. Oh man, this is like it's like bringing a candy for kids.
How far away is that, do you think?
Very close.
That's
Coronavirus,
interesting.
stop it.
Wow, that's exciting. Well, it's
Not for
exciting.
long.
It's exciting to look forward to that, you know? We need things to look forward to right now.
I'm pumped, man, because you know what? Thinking about what makes I'm just right now we are watching the very my son is a quarterback, so we are watching here the draft. What made the first pick the most talking, you know, why the first pick? Because he has the elements where the fans want to see it. They want to see a guy who finished the ball, who scored a touchdown, who can run the ball, who can throw the ball at any moment. But really, scoring is the most important thing in baseball. Is like the when you hit and you have a home run, or when you understand what I mean. So it's so simple. So I think it doesn't. I'm not a brilliant guy. I'm just a guy who was very early and who always had a vision that fighting is a very aggressive sport. But if you can see fighting from a different perspective, that's the most honest sport for the fans. It's like if you put two guys fighting and you put a great let's say a great game going on. They forget about the game. They want to see until the guy goes down, you know. So, and I mean, because it's so skilled, it's so much intensity. It's so honest. You don't have a net. You don't have a ball. You don't have someone between. It's just you and the other guy. It's very honest. It's a very honorable thing. If you studied about the samurais and you see how these guys were so honorable in Japan, because they are fighters, man, and they're the guy who paved the way for us.
It's interesting to hear you talk about martial arts. I was wondering what you think about, you talk about innovation, but it's interesting to see martial arts that are very old, like bare knuckle and Letway, now enjoying a moment. It seems Wanderlei Silva just spoke about wanting to fight you in bare knuckle. I don't know how you feel
So
about
I welcome him in one. You know, he's more than welcome. You know, and we would love to do this fight. But think with me, and it's like if we go back, you know, let's find another sport. Let's go back how football used to be. You know, it's not healthy for the guys. They're gonna get so everything has an evolution. I believe in creation. I believe in God. We are image of God, you know, because we are body. We got an intellect, and we got a spirit. And I think that's the similarity with God. You know, we make our own choices. We're not an animal. You know, my dog needs me to feed him. If I don't, he dies. You know, and so. That being said, if we go back to the wall, you know, we are very thankful. Imagine if in the COVID-19 we don't have internet. Imagine if we don't have FaceTime. People will be, we don't know what the world will be like. Maybe COVID-19 will stay for a long time. So we got to find evolution as a positive things. But that being said, what the sport of mixed martial arts, I don't want to see blood. I don't want to see that thing with you know, breaking the hand. Why? This is very precious. This is more than welcome. You know, and we would love to do this fight. But think with me, and it's like if we go back, you know, let's find another sport. Let's go back how football used to be. You know, it's not healthy for the guys. They're gonna get so everything has an evolution. I believe in creation. I believe in God. We are image of God, you know, because we are body. We got an intellect, and we got a spirit. And I think that's the similarity with God. You know, we make our own choices. We're not an animal. You know, my dog needs me to feed him. If I don't, he dies. You know, and so. That being said, if we go back to the wall, you know, we're very thankful. Imagine if in the COVID-19 we don't have internet. Imagine if we don't have FaceTime. People will be, we don't know what the world will be like. It maybe COVID-19 will stay for a long time. So we got to find evolution as a positive things. But that being said, what the sport of mixed martial arts, I don't want to see blood. I don't want to see that thing with breaking the hand. Why? This is very precious. This is my my word. I don't want to go and break it again and have to stay. So we put the gloves. And when you put a glove, now you're protecting my hands, you're protecting your face from cuts. So now we can have good sponsors. People don't want to be associated with blood. Why? Because blood is not a thing that people admire. If you have family, it's maybe this fans that they're gonna see anyway. But if you can mop up and make it nice, make it clean, make it a family environment, and that's what one is, and that's what we all have. We all have families, we all have kids. We're professional. We're not brawlers. We are martial artists. So, I don't. I remember the first reporter asked me a question, Victor, if someone hit your car, what you do? And I said, listen, man, so what you're saying is someone hit the car of Pavarotti. You know who's Pavarotti? Remember Pavarotti, the opera? So I said, what are you saying to me? If someone hit Pavarotti's car, Pavarotti's going to come down to the car and start singing an opera for the guy? So they say, man, please, this is just one of my skills I have. I have many skills. All these books that I read, I have so many skills. So fighting is just one part of my life. It's not my life. So I think some of the fighters, that's the only thing they know. And they're like, I call them meathead. But follow me, I can make you money. And I can make Vanderlei a lot of money if you follow me and not just make him money, but I can make him successful, because we're not here to hate each other. We are here to bring values and bring martial arts, because he's a martial artist for sure. But I think now he has to change his tone. He's already a growing up guy. He's going to be grandfather very soon. So the idea with us, we all mature. We are in the next phase. And what's the next phase? We bring in content. Content is king, but not every content is king. We are going through a very tough time right now where not every content is relevant. We got to be careful, because now they start saying cursing words to motivating people. I don't believe cursing words can motivate people.
I haven't seen it yet, man, but I want to.
Cursing words has only one meaning. They are bad. You can only motivate it with positivity. You can only prevail if you love. You can only make a successful society if you have empathy. You can only evolve as humans, because we are seeking for a better world, but we are destroying our world around us. Even our own family, what your kids are watching, what they're relating to, who are their friends, what's the last 5 texts, what type of WhatsApp group are you in, what type of things are you watching there. Pornography is one of the most king of content in the world, but it's good or it's bad? Oh, it's good for you, or what about your daughter? What about your wife? So I was trying to relate it to people, because people say, Victor, this is good for me, but it's good for your daughter. It's good for your people. It's good for your fans. So doesn't mean that something I like it can be harmful to me, but can be good to me. So if I have time to share a story, we are watching The Last Dance. The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
So the first one is very interesting, because you have a rookie going to Chicago Bulls, and he goes there and he knocks on the guy's door. You saw the story, the first one?
I haven't seen it yet, man, but I want to.
So I'm gonna tell the story, because you're gonna like it. I'm not gonna break this, but you're gonna understand. So he knocked on the door of the older guys in the club. When he opened, they have cocaine on one side, marijuana on one side, prostitution on the other side. And they look for Michael, say, hey, rookie, choose what you want. You want cocaine? You want this? And he just said, no, I don't like it. He laughed it. And then he said, you want drinking? No, I don't drink. And then he said, Michael Jordan came back to his time, said, hey, I never drink. He said, hey, actually, on that time I didn't drink. And he was giving an interview. He had like a whiskey or something liquor over there. his face was blown, and he's a legend. But sometimes what you used to do in the past is not going along with what you do in the present. And when you're a champion, you're always going to be a champion. But I always tell myself, Vitor, be careful, because you're always going to be a champion. You're always going to be a fighter. You're always going to be a martial artist. You're always going to be a dad. Doesn't matter how old my kids is. I always going to be a husband, because I'm not going to divorce my wife. I always going to have a family, because it doesn't matter if I'm here, I'm not. I was devoted to my family. So whatever you are now, you have a choice to either be it or you break it. So, and now he has totally different lifestyle, Michael Jordan. But what I'm trying to share to you is, like, doesn't matter how old you are, we as a fighter, as the people that made the sport, like myself, I made the sport out of nothing. It was nothing. I really did. I really was, for 2 decades, I've been in the sport, renovating and reinventing myself. And I'm doing it again for my lifestyle. That's going to be my last dance. So I believe I'm doing my last dance right now. So I see this as my last dance, but it's still active. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still doing my last dance, but active. So I want to do the same story. Of course, I'm far from being Michael Jordan, but I admire him as an athlete, and I don't know him as a person. But my son was saying, Dad, he used to not drink, but now he drinks. Look at the alcohol. My kids point that to me, and I say, good eyes, good judgment. So I believe every content is good, but every content is being judging. And my kids love we're in the second episode right now. But what I'm trying to say, that doesn't matter if you're not on the court, if you're not on the ring. Kids know who you are, and they're always going to relate it to that guy that you used to be, and they're going to look and trying to see, but who is Michael Jordan? They could not even recognize him. So what I'm trying to say is, like, we need to trying to, on times like that with COVID-19 and people are locking down, people are consuming so much content, and I have people put me in groups, like trying to exit groups, because I tell everyone, don't send me nothing, because I don't like to see pornography. My kids have access to my phones and my computer, so I'm very honest with people. I don't want to judge you, but please, respect me. I don't like that. I don't want to be part of that. So I'm trying to feed myself from what I think is good for me and for those around me. And I believe that what the fans deserve right now, it's great content in martial arts, but that can live a legacy for the next generation. The next generation of fighters, they deserve to understand where we come from. So now I'm here training with Alain Nglalani, like one of the champions of one. Man, it's such a good to share knowledge with this kid. He's feeding, and he's so respectful. He's so loving kindness. He's a champion for me in that stand of what he represents. So and that's the legacy. He has to carry the legacy for the next generation. So that's my philosophy. I think I went too far.
Mate, it's absolutely fascinating hearing you talk. Absolutely fascinating. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry to keep you so long. I didn't mean to, but yeah, it's so interesting. I'm just
You're a very intelligent reporter, man. That's nice.
I hope so, mate. I just wondered. You said this is more about where you are right now in your career. You're not so much interested in being a champion in one. Is that?
Yes, I am interested in being a champion, but I'm not interested in being a champion the way people think champions should act. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want to have to badmouth, trash talk to sell. I don't need to sell. People want to buy me. Doesn't matter. People want to see me because I paved the way. So what I mean, like, I want to be a champion, but now what type of champion? I want to be an earned guy, a guy who earned and who deserved. And when you earn, no one is giving you, man. No one is giving me anything. I believe in no one is give you free stuff. No free lunch in this world. No sacrifice, no glory, my friend.
Absolutely. When you saw Anglar against Brandon Vera, actually, you never saw so much respect between two competitors, and you saw the result. Absolutely incredible spectacle. Did you see that fight in Japan, Anglar versus Brandon? It was wonderful. So I imagine it would be a similar story with you guys if and when you do face Brandon Vera. Is that the plan to set up a date with him?
That would be a good fight as well, man. A good fighter, a great athlete, a guy with a lot of good skills, and that's the thing, man. So many possibilities in the horizon, you know. And I think when you have a good product, it's like how you package, you know. It's like this. I'm not gonna be naming products, but let's say, tell me a product that you like.
The Premier League.
Okay, the Premier League, if it goes in ABC, YouTube, or even in your phone, doesn't matter for you, am I right?
Yeah. You just want
You
to.
want to see
Yeah.
the Premier League. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So if you want to see something, it doesn't matter the package. When you open, that's what you want. That's it. I always tell my kids, the package must look bad, but when you open, I remember one time I gave a present in the Christmas tree, and we make a very ugly package, and was not what my daughter thought it was. She was open and crying. When she looked at, she saw that what she desired, and she was surprised. So, and then I taught her a lesson, saying, "Honey, life is like this. Your most gift is going to be wrapped in a place that you. So your gift is always going to be wrapped in things that you don't think is going to be there." And we always going to doubt yourself. People are always going to say, "Oh, this is not good." So I call, don't judge a book by the cover, because the ingredients inside. So that's why today they have a lot of content, a lot of fake contents. Everybody's pretty, everybody has filter, everybody, you know, it's all BS. Nobody has bugs. Everybody has bugs. Everybody pick the nose. You know, I'm looking at you right now. I'm trying to think how you pick your nose. I don't know, but you have your techniques. You know, maybe you go deep. I don't know, but you pick your nose in some point in life. So everybody has their faults. Everybody has their bad days, the good days. So no one is perfect. The idea of this world, how can you make it better for those around you?